Reporting live from Irish Club in Atlanta, Fight Plus News, I'm John Abba.
Listen, given what happened to the woman in Minnesota and everything else thus far, if you think this country is in a better place now than it was when Obama was president, and if you think Trump is a better president than Obama, you are an absolute idiot, racist, and an evil human being. And even though I know it would go against the Constitution, I hope that Trump tries to go for a third term. Because that means if he can, so can Obama. Since Trump's second presidency, we have seen the empire strikes back. If Obama goes for a third term and wins, Return of the Jedi.
Aries Spears appears to have triggered many MAGA supporters after he would give a very direct message following the shooting of a white woman in Minnesota by ICE. For Spears, he would take aim at Trump's Make America Great Again slogan, which he has used since 2012 as a way to engage voters before he would officially run for president of the United States in 2016. Make America Great Again has been used as a justification for many decisions during his time as president. Now, Spears' frustration again follows the shooting of a woman in Minneapolis who reportedly is a part of an ICE watch group. In the now shared video of her shooting, it appears she would begin fleeing from ICE agents as several cars started to drive away. Now, unfortunately for the woman, who has been identified as Renee Good, ICE would try to stop her car as she would decide to continue to drive away, in which an officer who was standing outside of the car would shoot her several times in the head. According to local outlet NPR News, the officer would say that he was fearing for his life as the reason he would shoot the woman, which has now caused a controversy. A part of his video, Spears' caption would read, "And to all the Trump fans who also are fans of mine, that will tell me because of my stance, I just lost some followers. Well, I'm also gonna gain some too. So stop thinking just because you get out the water at the beach, the sea level changes. Obama 2028. Now, over in his comments, Spears would end up being attacked by MAGA supporters for bragging about Obama's presidency compared to Trump's amid this recent shooting. One would go on to write, "I just unfollowed you. Rubio Vance 2028. Another would say, "Stick to your Shaq impression." While another would challenge Spears' comments on Obama, they would go on to write, "Obama brought LGBTQ and divided this nation. Do some research, homie." Now, for Spears, who didn't run from the backlash, would be quick to respond with, "So even though I personally don't agree with the gay lifestyle, you're telling me that the gay community didn't deserve rights and protection? Tell me you're a bigot without telling me you're a bigot." For Spears, he would continue sparring with critics in his comments. Now, as mentioned, many people appeared to be speaking out about the shooting, especially after the video would be released showing exactly what happened, which looks to dismiss the officer's statement of being in fear for his life when a woman's car looks to be facing in a different direction from him.
Here's my take on the Minneapolis ICE shooting. Not from the standpoint of a politician or an activist, through the lens of a 30-year career in law enforcement. I'm going to start by stating the obvious. I wasn't there. That said, the more I watch it, the angrier I get. I spent 18 of my 22 years in the FBI as a firearms instructor. One principle we hammered home was simple. Deadly force is never authorized merely to stop a fleeing suspect. If a vehicle is being used as a weapon, that changes the analysis. But nothing in this video supports that. At a minimum, this shooting reflects a failure of training and supervision. The deeper question is whether law enforcement agencies are selecting and properly vetting people with the temperament and judgment required to make irreversible life and death decisions in seconds.
Renee Nicole Good, the 37-year-old woman that ICE agent blew her face off after she had just dropped off her 6-year-old child, is white, and they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that because it's going to fuck with their narrative. And they're purposely not letting you know that it's a white woman whose face they blew off because they don't want you to switch sides. They don't want you to work collectively with the oppressed after realizing you too are being oppressed. Where is all the pro-life extreme right? Where are you guys? Now that you know it's a white woman that they murdered, not a criminal, not a migrant, not a black person, a white American woman got her face blown off with the help of your tax-paying dollars.
I just said it at the end of my last video, but I'm going to make it his own video just because I fucking feel like it. When the government starts killing white women without consequences, we are in trouble. Tim Walz talking about he going to send out the National Guard to fight against ICE with violence against his civilians, but there ain't no stopping when they killing white women. We know since the beginning of time as black people, one thing you don't fuck with is white women. And if you think Minnesota, the same Minnesota that went hard for George Floyd, is not going to go hard for this white woman, you got another thing coming.
Now, former CNN correspondent Don Lemon would even join in on the outrage and would directly tell ICE to F off, mixed with several digs at many of their alleged backgrounds.
Attention, ICE. Let me just say something that most people, most journalists will not say. They can't say it. I understand that. Off, ICE. All the way off. You are low-life losers. You feel empowered by your dear leader, Donald Trump. You have never had this position of power before. Small person. You are fat losers who just crawled out of a trailer park from some Proud Boy meeting, or if not worse, some other group that could be worse than him. There was no justification for that woman losing her life because you are ticked off because you think that you should be able to just round people off the streets, up off the streets without any due process, without any training. Any police officer, I believe, who did what that officer did in Minnesota and killed that woman would be in jail right now and would be facing an arraignment and a hearing, and the news would be covering it. But because it's Donald Trump and they are protecting and covering it up, that is not happening. So ICE, fuck you.
As far as Spears, he doesn't seem to be bothered by MAGA fans unfollowing him or firing back. He would even reshare a video of one white woman criticizing him for his comments.
And you're the propaganda parrot, Aries. Pot meat kettle. Were you just bragging and boasting, endorsing and promoting Saudi Arabia and their government and how wonderful they are? Traitor. You defended their culture while they chop heads off and fund terror with oil money.
America ain't the moral compass.
You ranted. Hyping Sharia law over stars and stripes. You're a sellout. You are ignorant when it comes to politics. And even right versus wrong, you don't have the ability to tell the difference. Trump did more for black people than Obama and Biden ever did combined. Ever. So sit the f down.
And a part of his caption for that video, Spears will respond with, "Funny how this goofy garden tool, chatty Annie official, says she bodied me but never tagged me or gave me the chance to defend myself. Funny how your people love the sneak attack instead of going head up. Listen, wench, anytime you, chatty Annie official, want that smoke, we can go IG live whenever you want. And I promise when we're done, you'll be ironing my socks." So let's talk about it more in the comments below. Do you agree with Spears that Trump has made things worse in America after Obama? And who do you blame for the recent shooting in Minneapolis? For more news in comedy, culture, and sports, be sure to subscribe here to our YouTube channel and follow Hype Plus across all social media. And if you enjoy content like this, be sure to head over to hypersclub.com to check out full interviews and more original content. And of course, if you have a story that you think we should cover, send us a message now at hypealerts.com. Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta, for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba.